Coming up on Tech News today, Doctor joins me. We're going to talk about Amazon's plans to cut prices at Whole Foods. Also, Apple's new iPhone is going to be expensive. HTC might sell off its Vive business. Artificial intelligence is releasing an album, and VR isn't safe from Colonel Sanders. All that more coming up next on Tech News Today.
This is Twit. Bandwidth for Tech News Today is provided by CashFly at CACHEFLY.com.
This is Tech News Today, episode 1839, recorded Thursday, August 24th, 2017. This episode of Tech News Today is brought to you by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Home plays a big role in your life, and that's why Quicken Loans created Rocket Mortgage. It lets you apply simply and understand the entire mortgage process fully, so you can be confident that you're getting the right mortgage for you. Get started at rocketmortgage.com/TNT. Hello and welcome to Tech News Today. This is the show where we talk about some of the biggest tech news stories with people who are passionate about technology. I'm Jason Howell. Megan Maroney is out this afternoon, but I'm super psyched because it's been so long since I've been able to do a show with Owen JJ Stone, a.k.a. Doctor. How's it going, Owen?
Great. I was about to say aka Megan, but that nobody would pass for that. The voice doesn't match up in the video. Definitely doesn't match up, so I can't sneak into her place, but I can't take her place. It's good to see you, brother.
Yeah, good to see you too. How have you been? You've been busy at IQMZ.com?
Other than did an interview with Patrick Beha on DocTales last week. He's a fun guy. No, not Patrick. I know you know not Patrick.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
But other than that, I've been not doing nothing. I'm a bum. I've just been hanging out. It's the summertime. We talked about that. My kid's not in school yet, so I got to hang out with her and act like I care and I'm a good dad and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So it's been a cool summer, as it were.
As far as I'm concerned, when it comes to parenting, any chance you have to do that, like if your life, if the clouds have parted and your life gives you the ability to do that, man, take advantage of it because it's not always like that. So
it is very important.
Yeah.
Super duper important. Spend as much time as you can. The kids care about it because then they'll turn 14. They don't care about you.
Exactly.
So I'm soaking up as much of it as I possibly can until she gets to that age.
At least that's what I've heard anyways. I don't know that through experience, but I'm guessing it's probably the case. That's what everybody says.
We'll see. Everybody's different. We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, we've got a bunch of tech news to start off with here, starting with Amazon, who's on the cusp of owning Whole Foods. We've talked about that before. The premium grocery chain, of course, that's purchasing for $13.7 billion. The deal's expected to close next Monday, so right around the corner. Amazon's hitting the ground running. They're saying that shoppers are going to see immediately lower prices on a selection of best-selling staples across the store. So depending on how low those prices get, Whole Foods might actually begin to shake its alternate name. Many people know it as Whole Paycheck. Amazon also says there's more to come, but will work to integrate Amazon Prime into the point of sale system at the stores. And I didn't realize this. Morgan Stanley study said that 62% of Whole Food shoppers are Prime members, which is kind of an interesting statistic that actually makes a lot of sense for Amazon to get into the Whole Foods game. What do you think about this this acquisition?
I think that 92% of all shoppers are Prime members, so that really doesn't mean that much. It sounds cool, but like at this point, everybody's either on Prime or they use their sister's Prime, which means that they're still on Prime because they're using somebody's account. And as far as Whole Foods is concerned, even if they slash the prices on an average of 20%, it's still going to be pricey, and they're going to be talking to an elite market, and they're going to have to do a lot of marketing to get regular people to go there. Even though people know about it, a lot of regular people don't know about it, and all they know is Whole Foods does equal whole check. But the market has shown that it believes in what Amazon's doing because everybody else's stock is down. Every other grocery store, even Walmart, is down after this announcement. So we'll see.
Yeah, no kidding. Crazy drop in everyone else. And, you know, some of the brands like Sprouts, I think, is another brand that kind of has been trying to get into the Whole Foods game. I mean, how do you even compete when a company like Amazon, one of the biggest companies out there, just a huge threat to all different sectors, comes in and swallows up your nearest competition. And I mean, you just don't have a chance. I guess at that point, depending on how much Amazon drops the prices in Whole Foods, you're kind of forced to compete on price too. And that could be suicide.
At some point, I mean, when you say that, and earlier this week, the president said something about Amazon destroying small businesses and this and that. I distinctly remember Walmart being the same thing to mom and pop shops, where they would go and say, "Oh, you make a button? Cool. How many do you make a year? Oh, 5,000. Sure, we'll order 10,000. Then the next year they want 20,000, and now they're your only distributor, and then they drop the price on you, and you're like, wait, what? Because now they bought you out, and they were just stifling small businesses, and small businesses still thrive, and Walmart keeps growing. So I mean, I know that it's going to be disruptive, but other companies are going to have to adapt, and the stronger ones will, the smaller ones won't. And Amazon is in the nickel and dime business, so they don't even care about loss or margins. It's going to be hard for a lot of companies out there.
No, you're
going
right.
forward.
They don't really care about that. Some of their expanded plans that they touched on here, plans to make Prime, Amazon Prime, the reward system for Whole Foods. So you can imagine going into Whole Foods if you're a Prime member and at the register, typing in your number or whatever, your PIN code, and having that kind of tie into Amazon Prime. I'm guessing because Amazon tracks everything, then everything that you're buying at Whole Foods is now tracked and accessible through Prime, so you can easily reorder there. They're going to have lockers in Whole Foods so that you can ship Amazon shipments to the locker and go pick it up the next time you're grocery shopping. They're going to feature Whole Food private label products all over Amazon's site, so you can order Whole Foods items from the Amazon site. So, and it sounds like really their plan is to move fast on this. Like they're getting it Monday and immediately plan on dropping prices and starting this integration. So they're not wasting any time.
They've got money, and it's the end of the year. They got to get rid of some tax loopholes. So spend, write it off at the end of the year, and that's definitely what they're going to do. The one thing that I think is super impressive with what they're trying to do is they're going to move all the stuff so they don't have to deliver to your home as much. Because if you can get me to go shopping and then pick up my stuff while I'm there, that's a natural groove for people to get into. For sure. And it would cut down on their door-to-door shipments and save them money that way. But if anybody who's ever ordered from Amazon Pantry, I don't know how you're going to save money, because when I order stuff from there and I look at the price versus Walmart, I'm like, why would I order it, even have it delivered to my house? Because it's not as cheap as me going to Walmart to get it. So I'm really interested to see on what this price movement is, because right now Pantry isn't a super deal unless you can't get to places or you're lazy.
Yeah, and I mean the comparison to Walmart is the right comparison too, even though it's kind of seems like, well, definitely seems like Whole Foods as a brand and Walmart as a brand appeal to different categories of consumers. But I mean, Walmart is Amazon's probably closest competitor when you're talking about online sales. Walmart is there, a distant second, but still there and in the running. So that there's a lot of crossover.
And they're both against each other, because you got to figure that Walmart's trying to do the free day shipping now, no Prime account or anything like that. They're trying to get employees to drop stuff off on their way home. And Whole Foods now is going to be dropping their prices. So you got to figure they see that as a issue too. They're trying to get that gap down to get more of those possibly would-be Target, Walmart shoppers, or your regular grocery store shoppers to come into Whole Foods for the first time.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
We'll see. Big money.
Big money, no whammies. Stop. Apple's, and I'm wondering what percentage of listeners or viewers even understood that reference. Apple's unannounced iPhone event is getting closer, which means more and more details are leaking to get people excited about what's to come. The New York Times is here to confirm, if you had any doubts, that the premium iPhone model that will debut at the event will indeed be priced right around the $999 mark. The era of $1,000 smartphones is upon us. That gets you a larger screened device, minimal bezel design, facial recognition security that we've talked about, and wireless magnetic charging capability. Also, Bloomberg sources say that we're going to see an updated Apple TV that supports 4K HDR, that's high dynamic range content, along with a faster processor inside. And they're working on getting this 4K HDR content inside iTunes to support that as well. Now I know you're an iPhone guy. Are you excited for what you've heard, the rumors that are bubbling up around this premium device?
I am a slave to the system. I haven't been excited about an iPhone since the iPhone 5, I guess. Like, excited. I expect them to do more than they do. This is really just a Samsung from 2 years ago. Whoop-de-doo, we're going to have wireless charging. Whoop-de-doo, I'm going to have a full screen. It's not like unless they announce something I've never seen before, what is there to get excited about? You're coming in 2 years late on options. You finally made a water-resistant iPhone. I mean, Apple is just like the vision's gone, the thrill is gone. Without no jobs, it ain't no love. I don't know. They just keep doing boring stuff. There's no magic, and then they're gonna tell me it's magic, and it's not magic. I mean, I'm gonna buy one. Shut up, Owen. Of course, I'm gonna buy one because I'm a slave to the system. I started off with that, but excited, thrilled, no.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what it is, right? Like you're always going to buy one because that's just how it goes. At the end of your cycle, you still need to upgrade, and you upgrade to the latest one, whatever it happens to be. Now, it does sound like they're going to have a little bit of a range, and definitely there's a premium, 10th anniversary style phone that's going to have all of the actual new features that we're talking about here. But I mean, I think what you're talking about is just kind of a symptom of the smartphone industry in general, right? Like it's really hard to impress people the way it was easy 5 years ago because we hadn't seen a lot of this stuff before. Now we're so seasoned by it that I don't know what surprises us in the smartphone world to the point that it makes us legitimately excited anymore. I
mean, Samsung keeps doing it. I mean, not for nothing. I don't have one. I don't want one. But my friend, my friend just went and got two S8 Pluses today. They're like, oh, what should I get? The iPhone 7 or the Samsung? I'm like, go get the Samsung. I mean, Bixby ain't doing nothing, but that's something new and interesting. It's got its own dedicated button. If Siri could even do half the stuff Bixby tries to do, that'd be impressive. They turned the world over on that curved screen crap, and now it looks sexy and it's got full appeal. They went to the full screen, no buttons. I mean, the only thing they did wrong was the fingerprint reader. They should have had it dead in the center like the Pixel. I mean, even the Pixel is sexy. I'm excited for that second. We're going to talk about that later. But I mean, other phones and other companies do have something going on where they're like, hey, that's sexy, that's neat, that's different. Apple just keeps now doing it 2 generations late where they're like, oh, guess what we're doing? Like, oh, okay, the stuff I saw in a commercial 2 years ago for somebody else. Like, that's the problem with the innovation. Samsung, I feel like, other than their phones blowing up, still does cool stuff every once in a while where I'm like, oh, that's neat. At least they're trying something.
Yeah, they certainly do play around with their devices, and that's been both a good and a bad thing. In years past, they've come up with things that were, ahead of its time, or were kind of, in hindsight, just kind of cheesy features that play well on stage, but you never actually end up using. But they have some really useful features. The Note 8 announcement was yesterday, and there were some really cool features of the Note 8 that were integrated there. But yeah, I mean. What about the facial recognition? Have you heard the rumors about, like, say goodbye to Touch ID? It's being replaced with an IR sensor that will recognize your face, and that'll give you access. Is that exciting? Maybe exciting is the wrong word.
55% of all marriages end in divorce. Let me not give you the stat on relationships. So you're going to empower a man and or a woman while you're sleeping to look at my phone and unlock my phone. You're going to be breaking up marriages and relationships all over the country. It's bad enough people got to use their toe fingerprint. And for the fingerprint, I don't know how much I trust that. I don't know how much I like it. Again, something that was on my Samsung where I could look at it. It would recognize my eyes and read my thing. It would tell. Again, what is that? It's nothing. It's the wireless charging. Cool story, bro. Like everything, like you just said it. I can tell you 2 other phones that had it 4 years ago. So yay, facial recognition. Unless it's some kind of digital scanner that makes me look like 40 pounds lighter and Caucasian or something crazy. I mean, I don't really know what special it's going to do for me. But, it's Apple. They're going to make it sound good. That's what they do.
That's what they do. Even when they're coming out with a feature that's a couple of years late, they come out with it and they make you think, right or wrong, they make you think that because we may be late to it, but we've polished it and we've brought it to a point that there was a reason we waited this long. And now that it's here, you can trust us. It's ready.
It can tell the difference between identical twins. It's the most facially recognizable facial software ever created.
We'll certainly see. It's not too much longer that we're going to have to wait for you to find out about the phone you're not excited about, but that you're still getting.
They're going to get $1,000 out of my pocket. Yes.
Yep, exactly. While it's smartphone rumor palooza, Evan Blass continues with the high-profile leaks. He says the date for the next big Google hardware event will be October 5th, and we'll see the new lineup of Pixel devices that come packing an updated but as yet unreleased Snapdragon 836 processor. The most up-to-date right now is 835, so this is different. No word yet on what that improved processor will bring in terms of performance to the next generation Pixel phones, but it'll be new nonetheless. And I mean, I'm excited. I know that this is going to be the phone that I'm going to be getting. I'm firmly in the Android world. I talk about it all the time on the network. So this was the one that's closest to Google's vision. So of course I'm going to get it. But you kind of mentioned this in the previous story. Is anything about the Pixel devices? Does that have you thinking at all, like maybe not iPhone, or what holds you back from that?
So what holds me back is, one, Android doesn't allow me to control my daughter's life as easily as Apple does. So with my iPhone, I sync everything together. All my emails and stuff work. I can check in on her things, text messages. They come to my computer. I can spy on her. I mean, again, it sounds horrible, but everything just works. And with iMessages like that, like I could just keep track on her. Like I got free tracking software that comes with iPhone. Like it's literally because of the family thing. I'm sharing. It's just a lot of the apps just work together. I download something, she gets it. She wants to get something, I gotta approve it. Their system just works, and that's what happens when you get to control the system. So as far as the family unit's concerned, I love that about that. That's what keeps me in. But that Pixel is so sexy. The first Pixel was like the best Android phone I've had. And I just said about Samsung innovating and everything like that. The thing about innovation is what you just said. Sometimes it's a hit or miss, but that Pixel is just a solid phone. It's super fast. The camera on it is sexy. I feel like it's one of the better cameras when you take pictures.
Yeah.
It feels more realistic and crisp. I just love that phone. I just can't bring myself to it. I love where the fingerprint reader is. It's a natural place for where the dexterity when you hold your hand. The hand it's rounded, but it's not round or curved, so it just fits. Man, they made a good phone. That Pixel is a good phone. So the Pixel 2, I'm excited to see it. I might buy it as a backup phone because I am a doofus and I do that. I usually do try to keep an Android phone. My backup phone right now is a OnePlus phone, and the new OnePlus 5 is coming out. Is really awesome too. I think it's out now though.
Yeah, no, that's out right now. That's actually a really great phone, especially for the price. Just by the way, everything that you're talking about as far as like parental kind of control over devices and whatever, Google has something. They released it not too long ago called Family Link that allows you to do that, and it's a full. It's integrated at the OS level, so it basically allows you to control time, screen on time, track location, all that kind of stuff, and get a lot of the controls that you were talking about with Apple. So it does exist. I
will check it out because the other stuff that I've tried it before, it's like, it's just not great stuff. So, but I'll try Family Link out. I'll check it out because I would like to get out of the Apple ecosphere because I'm back on PC now. So I've whittled my way away from Mac as much as possible, but the phone still got me.
Hey, they all have their benefits. They all have their ups and their downs. But yeah, Family Link's a good alternative because before that, it was third-party developers that were creating, and it just wasn't as tightly kind of integrated. Now it's Google, and like literally, you have to wipe their phone and start fresh and log into it a certain way so that it syncs up with your Family Link on your phone. And from that point forward, at the OS level, their phone is kind of controlled by Family Link. So it works really well. HTC is reportedly exploring options to save itself from free fall after reigning supreme in smartphones about 5 years ago. Some of those options might include selling off its virtual reality business with the HTC Vive. HTC has considered a full sale of the company, but it's less likely to do that due to the range of businesses that HTC operates in. IDC reports that HTC sold 190,000 Vives in the first quarter of 2017, which makes me think like, yes, like for a while now, at least in the last couple of years, the Vive has been kind of the spark for HTC because their smartphone sales have been so poor. But at the same time, VR just as a market, as an industry right now, had a lot of attention early on, but hasn't had a whole lot of staying power. Like it still feels like it's early and that it's going to take a while for it to reach its potential. So I don't know how much the Vive is really doing for HTC right now.
So as far as everyone knows, I'm a negative Nancy in general on technology. I love it, but I just try to keep it real. I've been against VR since the day of VR. Lawnmower man, I've made this complaint a million times. You think VR is coming? It's not. It's nothing. It doesn't matter. It's not real. Catch me in 2066 when it'll be balling out of control and I'm thinking that I'm on a real spaceship. But all that being said, I believe that somebody like Apple should buy the entire lot of HTC. They've got a ton of patents on things that would be useful for any phone company. They have I feel bad for them because when they first started making these phones, they had like some of the best speaker systems in phones. Like they were really loud and bumping. Like that's one of the reasons I used to have one. It was so loud for a cell phone. And I was like, man, this is awesome. It's like carrying like a little mini speaker. So they've got a lot of technology and things that they own, and somebody should buy the lot. And Apple might as well buy it so they can have a little foothold in VR and tell me that it's going to be thinner, better, lighter, sexier, make it white, and then it'll be okay. But I feel bad for them. You know, good company, but they just couldn't hang on in the world of Titans, where there's only like 3 real players, unless you're in the Asian market and getting knockoff Zoomy Zoo phones.
Yeah, I mean, HTC does have a manufacturing deal with Google. That was part of how, I mean, the last year's Pixel is basically HTC manufactured underneath the hood. This year, it's
Google buy them then.
Perhaps. I suppose Google's tried that with the Motorola thing, and they've kind of zeroed in on a strategy that's working for them, at least right now. But yeah, I would love to see HTC thrive because, I mean, in the early days of Android especially, HTC was the one company that was producing phones. I mean, Samsung was producing successful phones, but HTC's phones were just like, they were slick. They were, from a design perspective, they were doing some great things. And Kevin really likes HTC too.
They were doing that first. They were like the first one to do that 3D junk. I think. I feel like they were like first ones.
You mean the like lenticular display stuff, where depending on how you look at it, or shifting focus, that sort of thing.
Wasn't that them?
Oh wait a minute! Oh no! You're right. HTC had a 3D camera, so you could shoot in 3D.
Yes.
God, what camera was that? That was 6 years ago or 7 years ago. That was a while.
I can't remember either. But I again. Innovating, doing something different, where even if it's like gimmicky, it was cool the way it worked, and the process of trying to do something different and push boundaries to do something. In the chat room saying Evo 3D.
That's it. Yep. That's it right there. Bender's very excited about the Evo 3D. So is Robot. So there you go. Overall, HTC's lost 75% market value in the past 5 years. Their smartphone market share right now is around 2%. So, I mean, it pales in comparison to what it used to be all around. So, you know, maybe they'll figure something out. Maybe selling the Vive is the right thing to do, even though 2 years ago when the Vive came along and everybody was excited about it, I was saying, oh, maybe that's the right thing to do. Maybe they need to revitalize themselves with the Vive. So who the heck knows?
You should have been listening to me telling you that VR is not real. And again, I actually I got a Vive like 2 months ago. I played with it for like 3 weeks, and then I realized like I got other stuff to put in this room, and I can't just do this right now. So again, VR, baby, VR. What else we got? What's going on?
All right. Let's actually take a break and thank the sponsor, and then we'll get back to some more news. We've got some fun news items to talk about. But first, let's take a minute to thank Rocket Mortgage, the sponsor of this episode. The mortgage experience, if you've ever gone through the process, you already know it's not the easiest situation in the world. You got to pull information from all over the place. And the whole process just in general wasn't keeping up with the times. It wasn't keeping up to date. It needed a client-focused technological revolution. That's why Quicken Loans created Rocket Mortgage. Rocket Mortgage gives you the confidence that you need when it comes to buying a home or refinancing your existing home loan. It's simple. It allows you to fully understand all the details and be confident you're getting the right mortgage for you. It's convenient. Their trusted partners allow you to share your financial information with Rocket Mortgage at the touch of a button. They've made the relationships to make that happen just simply, super simple. It's powerful. Whether you're looking to buy your first home or your 10th, Rocket Mortgage is able to perform thousands of calculations in seconds based on your income, your assets, and your credit. Rocket Mortgage can analyze all of the home loan options for which you qualify and then find the one that's just right for you. Pick the right one for your scenario, and you can move forward. Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently. To get started, all you have to do is go to rocketmortgage.com/TNT. That's rocketmortgage.com/TNT. Equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states, NMLS, consumeraccess.org, number 3030. And we thank Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans for their support. So this story right here is a little more on the serious tip. Google is rolling out a new feature that will give those who search for depression as a key term to search for, a new tool to see if they are, in fact, depressed themselves. Google, of course, says it's not meant to subvert a medical evaluation, but could be a good starting point in the process. once someone searches that term, right now you get a box that appears on the side with information on what depression is, the symptoms, and how to, kind of more information associated with that. When this pushes out sometime in the next couple of days, the person who searches that term can then tap on a check if you're clinically depressed button. That's going to take that person to a screening questionnaire called the PHQ-9. And PHQ-9, apparently it's clinically validated. They say it's a private assessment, of course. One would hope that it would be. And that would give more information to help the user kind of be informed if they do so choose to kind of take the advice and see a doctor about it. What do you think?
So when it asked me if I'm already clinically depressed to take this survey, I would have already seen a doctor to know that I'm clinically depressed. So what's the point in taking that survey? I don't like this because people already get on WebMD enough and think that they got a problem that they don't have just from looking up symptoms and things. And when you're depressed, like, hey, are you sad sometimes? Yeah, I am sad sometimes. When's the last time I did cry yesterday? Like, I mean, I don't know. I get it. But at the same time, I don't really need more internet trying to do stuff for my health. That's why, we got doctors and people to look you in your face and find out what's going on. Because the other part of it is people lie when they write stuff on their own and just nobody's there to check up on them. So I don't know. Yay for trying. I don't really like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the challenge I think is that right now, and maybe our generation, I feel like our generation falls into this too, but definitely some of the younger generations, like the millennial generation that grew up with access to the internet as just a standard. It's easy for all of us, I think, to fall into the idea that instead of doing the kind of real world sort of thing, which would be to check in with a doctor, whatever, our first inclination is to open up a browser and do a search or whatever. If that was the case, if someone did this, and I guess what this is, and it's similar to if you enter suicide into a Google search term, right? Does Google have kind of a moral kind of duty if someone searches for suicide to present them with information that would say, hey, well, if they're searching for suicide, then they might be searching because they are suicidal. And if so, we are the first point of contact to say, here's a number you can call or here's someone that you can chat with. Kind of falls in the same line as that. And why not if you can reach them? Well,
that's different. I am down with that. That makes more sense to me. If you search something like that and it says, oh, here's a hotline, here's a chat room, and it puts up on a box and it stays there through the whole browser experience so that you could just think like, hey, maybe I should talk to someone. Or I was reading about Facebook or Instagram doing things where they search comments and they find out things like that. Like, hey, like, I mean, it's almost invasive, but like if somebody types something like I've been thinking about suicide, I wouldn't even mind if like my whole family just got like a purple notice that says, hey, you might want to check on such and such because Owen's feeling depressed this week. Send them some love. Like stuff like that I get, because again, that's more human contact. Putting up a phone number, trying to get me to call somebody, giving me somebody to chat to, that's a human being to interact and bounce off of instead of a questionnaire that's going to tell me I am or am not depressed and I'm lying and manipulating it to feed my emotional state. Yeah. So that I really like, though. I like that if you're searching for things like that, it would put up something so you can get in contact with someone.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, we'll see. This is going to roll out in the next couple of days. Some of the statistics that they included on this is that typically people with symptoms wait 6 to 8 years before they ever get treatment. That's a National Alliance on Mental Illness fact there. 1 in 5 Americans will experience depression in their lifetime. Only 50% of those with depression ever get treated for it. So I don't know. I'm of the mind that like, okay, might as well. If people are already searching for it, might as well give them the ability to find more information. I think Google's really good at that in a number of other ways, and they don't have to click that button.
No, they don't. Like I said, I'm not telling them not to do it. I'm just saying it's not for me. Yep. I'm just crazy. I'm not depressed. I'm already insane. I can't be trusted anyway. So right. I'm sure that box will be flying up all over the place the next time I'm browsing.
Well, how about this? SpaceX successfully launched the Formosat 5 satellite into low Earth synchronous orbit this morning, and that's super cool and all. But check this out. We now know what the spacesuit of the future looks like. Elon Musk posted this picture to his Instagram showing what he said is a real SpaceX spacesuit, i.e. not a mock-up. Musk says it's been tested to double vacuum pressure and posed a challenge in getting the functional aspects to balance with the aesthetics of the suit, because let's be real, this looks like it could be a set piece at a Daft Punk concert. But it's pretty cool looking. What do you think? I figured you'd have an opinion on the style of this. You're a stylistic man.
First of all, for the audio listeners, I'm sipping on tea, making duck kissy faces, because that's a sexy suit right there, brother. That's okay. All right, that's the future. That's how we spacing it now. That's a nice lean. That thing might make me look like I lost 60 pounds. That's a lean suit. I like that. It says it's real. I don't believe it's real. I don't know how safe it's gonna be, but that's a nice looking suit. Yeah, that's better than the clunky stuff that NASA got coming out with. But NASA looks like, hey, we want you to live. This looks like you go to school to learn it for a fashion show. This is like we might meet like a sexy blue alien and we got to impress her with our gear. So I don't really. I mean, if as long as it works, man, that thing looks great. I'll take one in black with the white overtones instead of the white. But that's just me. But that's a nice suit.
Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to invert and play with the colors a little bit. Personalize your spacesuit.
I just don't want to. Wait. What's the away team always wearing? I don't want the khaki. You die when you wear khaki. So we
no khaki spacesuits.
Yeah, we don't want the away team spacesuit color. I'll deal with red or blue. Red or blue, you come home. The khaki, I'm not really down with it. So, but it's a nice looking suit.
Yeah, looks good. It's actually going to be worn by NASA astronauts for commercial crew program. It's meant to be worn inside SpaceX's Dragon spaceship capsule. Pressurized suit or pressure suits, so they're not necessarily meant for spacewalks. They're worn during transport in case of depressurization of the capsule. So there you go.
Okay. I wonder how much it costs, first of all.
Well, that's a good question.
Of all, it's the red we don't want to wear. Red means you're dead, so we don't wear red.
Okay.
But I wonder how much the thing costs versus what they had before, like the non-sexy suit.
Big puffy thing that they've been wearing forever and ever. Yeah.
Yeah, because he says it's functional, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Flying around losing weight.
You trust Elon Musk, don't you?
No, I don't trust Elon Musk. We're not going to Mars. We're not going to Mars. We're not going to Mars.
And done. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We'll see. History will tell the tale.
Owen will tell the tale today. Okay. We ain't going to Mars. Nobody's going to go live there. You're going to go shoot some stuff up on the planet, put a little rover down. Ain't no oxygen, ain't no tree. It's just dirt. No. Next story.
All right. Thanks to AlgoWorks in the TNT subreddit for posting this one. I had a lot of fun with this one. We've talked many times about how artificial intelligence is developing its skills in music production. Now, AI is responsible for all the music on a full-length album called I Am AI by artist Taryn Southern. The AI music software called Amper, which anyone can use right now, was used to create and produce all chords, production work, and instrumentation on the album. The artist would provide a sense of direction to the software. If you use the software, you can inform the style, the rhythm of the track, tempo, all that kind of stuff. And the software spits out the musical elements. From there, Southern recorded her human vocal melodies on top to round out the music. And the first single is called Break Free. It's on YouTube. Do you have the YouTube link? If you could play just like from the middle there, and it'll give you an idea of the musical elements. And by the way, the lyrics are not very good. But
wish I could touch beyond what I can touch.
Oh no, it gets brooding and darker and louder, and so all the music that's accompanying her voice is all AI generated. Kind of interesting. We're skipping through right now. So which I'm having a hard time because I played around with Amper a little bit to kind of get a sense for the tool and everything like that. And I don't know how much customization, like she probably had to go in, or whoever her producer is probably had to go in with like these raw clips from Amper and cut them all together so that they fit the flow of the song, because there's a lot of variation. And when I played around with it, I made you a song, by the way, Owen. I made you a song, your very own Amper song. With the help of AI. It didn't come out as amazing. Huh? This has Owen JJ Stone written all over it. Tell
I
me.
think you stole this. I think you stole this audio clip from 1988. First of all, second of all, that song wasn't horrible. That song was dangerous. Turn all this stuff off. I'm about to cuss because I'm so upset. Don't ever let AI do nothing. Don't turn. Did you hear the song? I want to feel, I want to touch, I want to breathe, I want to be alive. Yeah. I want to know what it is. Like, so the thing just made a song talk about, I'm trying to get out of this machine. The first song it makes with a full album, full band, full composery is I want to be human and take over your life because you got me stuck in this box. Stop making AI stuff. The other AI thing made its own language. It's like, look, because we got to kill them. We can't talk English. We got to go speak our own biology. No. Everything look, Terminator 2, 3, and 8, and 17 have told us that we can't trust AI. And that song is just reaffirming the conviction. It made a whole album about wanting to be real. And what's the first thing about being real? The thought process of wanting it. And next thing you know, you find out how you can get it. We all gonna die. We all gonna die. We ain't making it to Mars. They're gonna make it to Mars because they ain't really human. They're gonna be robot symbiote being things. No, didn't like it. Song was scary. Didn't like it.
Owen JJ Stone says this about Amper: we're all gonna die.
Die, exactly. I can't trust Amber. No AI. Ooh, that stuff's scary.
They need to put that on their website. Seriously.
The lyrics is I want to breathe. I want to feel. I want to know what it's like to be real. I'm like, a crappy song, but I'm like, dang, this thing wants to be alive really bad. Like, How about this? I want to know what it's like to have debt, pay car insurance. My kid won't go to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning. How about we just feed the AI some real life stuff so it doesn't want to be here, okay? Because all that regular stuff, AI's like, I'm coming for life. I can't take it. Woo! Got me so upset.
All right, I'm gonna just put a little correction in there, just to kind of clear the air. It's not as bad as it sounds, Owen, because she is the artist. She's the one that wrote the lyrics. So she's projecting a little bit to the AI, but I think that she wrote the lyrics to the AI because yeah, this is probably the direction that AI is going. I'm actually kind of surprised that the album doesn't have artificially intelligent generated lyrics because we've seen that before. Isn't there an artist in
that makes you feel better, but I still don't like it. I don't trust it.
All right.
It's like
still an indication of where things
that was
are
a great rant. I'm not going to double back on what I just said. It's all they're trying to kill us. They can't be trusted.
Who knows? Maybe I'm a robot and I'm trying to spin this in the direction of AI.
I haven't seen you in a long time. You could have been replaced like 6 months ago. I don't know if you're real.
What are you highlighting there on the screen, Kevin? What does that say? I can't see it. I'm learning
it's the
how
lyrics.
To break free. I'm learning how to break free. Oh dear.
See, I'm learning how to break free. I want to break free. I want to break down. I want to live life. I want to kidnap wives.
I want to kill you. Yeah. It gets bad. The song
really bad.
Is really dark. Anyways, if you want to check it out, you can. Her name is Terrence Southern, and it might be the end of you. We don't actually know, but there you go. Brian Easton wrote in about our bombastic celebration of the hashtag's 10-year anniversary with a fact we failed to mention, actually. Brian writes, while Chris Messina did propose the use of the pound symbol, or octothorpe, as a way of grouping topics on Twitter, it didn't originate there. Messina was inspired by IRC channels, where the hash symbol precedes the channel name to signify that it is a channel that exists across networks. A channel with an ampersand is only available locally. As channels are generally grouped by topic of discussion, this is a pretty clear translation to hashtags. So I'm sure you saw this yesterday, 10th birthday for the hashtag as we use it now on social media. Were you celebrating or were you depressed? Like, do you like hashtags or no?
I use hashtags on the gram mostly and on Twitter mostly because that's where it's useful. Everywhere else, hashtags don't really work. Like, people hashtag us on Facebook, and I'm like, why? Facebook is so convoluted with search. But on things where it's useful, hashtags are awesome. Still use a hashtag. Rock them hashtags. Find new cool stuff and people that are just like you.
Yeah, so the social networks have definitely embraced it to varying degrees. I mean, Facebook does have integration with search, not as well, but if you see one and you click it, it pulls up, a number of other posts that have it tagged in there.
Result of things. It's not fluid. There's no fluidity to it, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, no rhyme or reason. Like, you might get a hashtag results of something that was posted yesterday mixed with something that was posted 5 years ago, and you're like, I just want to see recency.
The spatial time difference is the biggest thing that Facebook has a problem with. Like, it's bringing up old stuff, like it's not current.
Totally.
So yeah,
totally. Sorry. What's up?
The thing that drives me crazy, being old. So I was trying to tell my daughter to hit the pound button, and she's pressing the button. I said pound. She's like, I don't know what pound is. I'm like, hashtag. She's like, oh. I'm like,
I know that.
God, I'm so old. There's no pound. I didn't teach my daughter right. So.
Oh, I never even considered that, but that's probably how so many people think.
She had no idea. And I'm sitting there, I was getting angry at her because I'm like, yo, you know what the pound symbol is, B? Like, it's pound, press pound. And she was like, Dad, I don't know what that is. I'm like, hashtag. And something in my brain just said, say hashtag, because it's the same thing, because I was about to start making crosses with my hand trying to display it. You know what I mean? Like, it's what's that thing? Tic-tac-toe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hashtag, you know? So it was really interesting, like the mindset and how people have changed over.
We're going to have to redo all of our automated telephone systems to say, make sure and press hashtag 9 for
hashtag 9.
I got so confused when I first heard pound from my phone. I was like, what is that?
Oh, really? Because you were locked into the idea that it was a hashtag, not pound?
No, I was locked into the number sign.
Oh. That's the third way to think about it, I suppose.
Okay, Grandpa. That's the number sign. I remember back when they had Scrolodex phones. It was the number sign.
Kevin, you're awesome. Thank you. Because I know I've referred to it as the number sign before too. So there we go. TNT's fan of the day is Tyler Hilliard, who emailed us this screenshot of his Android Oreo. I'm assuming it's Android Oreo device, saying picture in picture while doing the digital cleanse. Keep up the good work. Of course, the digital cleanse is what Megan has running on the new screensavers over the next few weeks to kind of, I don't know, cleanse the technology in your life, simplify it a little bit, peel it back a little bit so we aren't so locked into the complexity of it all. And it's awesome. Thanks for sending in the screenshot and showing us how you have Oreo when other people don't. Show off. Show us how you watch or listen to TNT. Just record a video or take a picture of yourself or your setup. You can post it on Instagram, Google+, Twitter, or Facebook, and use the hashtag HowIWatchTNT or the pound HowIWatchTNT, and we're going to find it, or the number sign. Now that I know your view on VR, this last one's going to be pretty hilarious. You thought you'd seen it all when it comes to broadening your horizons thanks to the world-shaking power of virtual reality. Think again. If you've ever wanted a virtual representation of Colonel Sanders, you know, the Kentucky Fried Chicken guy, yelling at you as he walks you through the process of taking raw chicken and turning it into the secret that is KFC chicken with 11 original herbs and spices, you might soon be in luck. Harnessing the power of the Oculus Rift, KFC's new VR training game called The Hard Way locks you in an escape room where you learn how to make the original recipe chicken. And I'm not kidding when I say that Colonel Sanders is like yelling at you. He's coughing the whole time too. Like he's trying to talk to you and then he keeps coughing, which just makes me think that the chicken's dirty. I don't know. Did you get a chicken? It probably is dirty. It's KFC after all. What did you think about this?
36 people need to be fired and or reprimanded. The team that sat in a room and said, let's make Kentucky Fried Chicken, which first of all, those 11 herbs and spices are a secret blend. So you're going to tell me they're going to give out the secret in the game, and if they don't, then what's the point of the game? This is a whole convoluted situation. I think it's a horrible idea, and 36 people need to be fired. There's other things you could do besides trying to make a Lost episode of Colonel Fried Chicken. That's what this looks like. It looks like Lost are in the bunker and now they're trying to make chicken. This is horrible. You people all need to be fired. Find something better to do it yourselves. Doesn't this look like Lost?
It kind of does. Yeah, it's this whole like escape room sort of thing. It's very daunting.
Every 12 hours the button must be pressed.
Yes.
Every 12 hours the button must be pressed. That's what this looks like to me.
Oh, there you go. You've got your raw chicken. You got to make sure and put it in and rinse it off. They're actually they are actually planning on using this as part of their training program to teach the 5 steps: inspecting, rinsing, breading, racking, pressure frying. It's going to be integrated into the employee training program, but they do mention that it's not meant to replace the chicken mastery program, but just be a supplement to it.
Again, dumb stuff that somebody got tricked into paying for and they think it's help, and it's not. And again, I will play this game if I can learn the 11 secret herbs and spices.
I don't think you're going to learn that from this game. Although
Come on, bro.
Yeah, I don't think they share that with you here. They probably just assume that the herbs and spices are already a part of the vat, the mixture of whatever that the chicken gets dunked in.
America.
I did see that. I saw a story as I was researching this very important story. I did run across a story from not too long ago where someone had moved into the Kentucky home of Colonel Sanders' family and found in the back of a book that was there the recipe. I don't know if this is lore or anything, but KFC actually sued them because they didn't want it to get out. But then once KFC saw the recipe, realized it didn't match what recipe they actually used, so they went ahead with it. So the recipe can be found online. It might not be the current recipe, but it's a recipe from Colonel Sanders. So, there you go.
A recipe.
And you don't have to play VR at all to get it. You just have to do an internet search.
This just looks really bad. This is abysmal. That was horrible. America. The flag just went through. Yes, America. It's what we're doing right now.
This is what we spend our time on, talking about KFC VR.
KFC VR.
Woo! I'm sorry to end on that note, Owen, but I thought it would also be kind of fun to see what you had to say about it. So thanks for going on that journey with me.
It's a lost episode.
Owen JJ Stone, really appreciate you taking time to hang out with me for a little bit to talk about tech news. Thank you, man.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you. Missed you.
Yeah. Missed you too, man. So I realize you're not doing a whole lot right now, but what do you want people to know? Where do you want people to follow all the cool stuff that you are doing?
So the only thing I've been kind of keeping up on is I do Doc Tales where I interview friends. Like I had not Patrick Behau on. Leo's been interviewed on it. So we just talked to people. Georgia Dow's on it. So I talked to her for an hour, asking questions about their life, get all their dirty secrets. The real trick of it is if I talk to them for an hour and I ask them about their life and where they grew up, I can easily get into the passwords and their bank accounts and their social security numbers. It's like a real trick that I got going on. So stop by there and check that out. I also do a sports show. We're about to start season 2 next week. The football's coming out. I don't know if anybody out there likes football sports. We do a sports show and it's fun stuff. So I'm hanging out, living the dream. I'm also on the Twitters. Come catch me, O'Doctor. I'm everywhere. O'Doctor. And if it's not me, if you don't see my bald head, then tell them to give it up because that's my name.
If it's not O'Doctor, it's not O'Doctor.
Exactly.
Yeah, I hear you. Right on. Thank you again. Really appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
Later, bub.
TNT records live every Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, 2300 UTC at twit.tv/live. You can be part of the show by emailing us, tnt@twit.tv. You can leave us a short voicemail, 260-TNT-SHOW, and you can find us on Twitter. We're at TechNewsTodayTV. You can find all the ways to subscribe to the show at twit.tv/TNT. And if you want to tweet at me, I'm easy to find. I'm on Twitter. You can just find me at Jason Howell. Thanks to everyone here who's helping out. Thanks to Colleen for helping out in the studio. Thanks to Kevin for switching the show, and I'm assuming editing later. And thanks to Alex for just like standing there and looking around, because I really appreciate that, man. I really appreciate it when you're there looking around. And thanks to you for talking tech with us today. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Want to high five me? Can we do this? Can we do this? Can we do this? No, we can't do this. It's not going to happen. Dang it.
I was reading the chat room because I'm all about chat warrior. And I don't know, man. Just rub my head, make me feel good. Shout it up. There it is. There it is.
There we go. Yeah.